Hello. Welcome to my first video on this channel. Um, Basically, I'm just gonna play Minecraft and, talk about stuff. Yeah, so I got a good seed here. It's not random, but there's a village here I spawned into. Um, Anyways, you know, in America right now, there's a lot going on, basically. Sure, everyone knows that. Um, I'm really mostly afraid about fascism specifically. I know people a lot of the times on the right are very spooked by that word because they're like, oh, everyone gets called that or that gets thrown around. But in this case, I think that it does fit because, well, when we look at um you know, America right now, and Elon Musk and stuff, especially, like, we see him doing the Hitler salute, right? Like, this is not something that I should loot these houses, but this is not something that is, um, that you would expect at all in American politics. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, well, he faked that. Okay, well, then later at CPAC, you know, a lot of, or sorry, one specific person, I forgot his name. Um, Look, I can look him up, but there's nothing in this village. I guess I'll take a bed. But he did the Hitler salute like after Elon did it, so obviously that was purposeful because he knew it was interpreted as that. Um, but yeah, it's a really worrying thing. Um, and beyond that, like, it's a consolidation of like oligarchy, isn't it? Because we're really looking at all these people like Elon Musk, and then now Jeff Bezos is uh, turning his Washington Post into the propaganda machine. He posted on Twitter, basically. And he switched sides, which is not surprising. And then, obviously, what's his name? Mark Zuckerberg also switched sides as well. So it's just like, you know, come on. Um, but yeah, I think people really need to realize this, like, seriously, because the more that people deny that it's like actual fascism, I think the more we like descend into this kind of like idea that, oh, the system can be reformed, or that it's not too far gone, or that like immediate action doesn't need to be taken. But it's a very serious predicament. So, um, you know, I really would like to talk about, I guess, political action then, because since we see a lot of this stuff happening around us, something obviously has to be done about it. um, Unfortunately, in America, a lot of our institutions to fight back to these things, like unions and stuff like that, and alternative political organizations, are just gone, deteriorated. So we have to build new ones, right? Um, and I think a lot of that starts at home, with the home, like, the community. Um, And you can basically start organizing with your friends. Um, you know, in the 1970s and 80s, queer liberation groups were did a lot of political action, and they were only about 30 people who did things like were able to protest and storm into like news like stations and stuff. Obviously, this isn't like small town communities. It's like New York and such, but yeah, this is stuff that happened, and um this group of like 30 people was able to get a national organization to finally talk about queer issues for the first time, and even demand a meeting. But yeah, further, those are called zaps, by the way, if you want to look into that, or zapping protest method. Um, yeah, but further, like you can do things like show up to community meetings. I've seen lots of videos of town halls and stuff where people are like speaking out to their local representatives about the whole Doge situation and like Elon coup on the government. Um, and that actually does do stuff because that gets coverage. Um, you can do activism, turn your town or your city into a sanctuary city for immigrants. There's lots of things that can be done on the ground, but like when these community organizations that are doing these like things to directly benefit and help the community build like alternative political organizations for the community, I think what happens after that is we have a very strong like base of a bunch of community organizations that can network together and connect together, and that really provides a base for um, any kind of like social revolution or something. And it allowed these organizations to coordinate together and do mass action and possibly even general strikes, right, where they shut the whole country down by doing a bunch of union strikes all at once to get economic progress, or like actually put political power back in the hands of the workers. And another thing I'd like to touch on is that this type of stuff doesn't even necessarily need to be on a left-right divide, even though I don't like those terms anyway. I think people who consider themselves like anti-authoritarian or libertarian basically um, need to kind of stand together on these kinds of things, because realistically, even left libertarians believe in creating alternative and voluntary organizations, right? Um, so I think for the purpose of like revolution, these can work together um, pretty. What am I trying to say? Sorry, trying to kill the sheep right now. But I think they can work together pretty efficiently. And actually have like fruitful relationships if they get past like sectarianism. Um, especially anarchists. Even anarcho-capitalists, whether you consider them anarchists or not, they believe in like arbitration and polycentric law and stuff, right? And realistically, who's building these institutions? Because again, it's not them, right? It's not the libertarians usually, the right-wing people. It's usually leftists. So we're the ones who are going to have the institutions to place these things. You know what I'm saying? So I just think that it's really best to take that into consideration. Um, that realistically, whoever has what's best for people and what attracts people, what people gravitate towards, that's what's going to end up winning out in people's hearts. Oh, look, there's another village over there. Oh my gosh, wonderful. Okay, it's getting nighttime, so I need to make a little place for myself. Better take this. There we go. But yeah. I don't think it's really helpful to be extra sectarian or anything, or try to gatekeep certain ideologies, because our situation's really dire right now. So I think like a united anti-fascist front is necessary. But I don't think we should make concessions and work with a lot of people who are trying to hurt us or screw us over in the end, and that is, I consider, authoritarians. People who believe in expanding state power or having a strong central government or not replacing a lot of institutions with voluntary or non-governmental options. Yeah. Anyway, I've been trying to do my best to spread ideas. In my current situation, I don't really have the ability to do direct political action, but I will soon. And I will try my best to be very active in that. But yeah, this first video is just gonna be my first day in Minecraft and stuff. Obviously, it's not too exciting, mostly because it's just about me rambling about political action and stuff. But you know, anyway, I'll keep going for a little bit before I close out. But I'm going to try to go to this village here. I think that a lot of this stuff reflects what happened in Nazi Germany and fascist Italy. A lot of this stuff, when it comes to like all these corporate oligarchs and corporations kind of consolidating power within the state, this happened very explicitly in the Nazi regime, who, in fact, with a lot of their stuff, calling themselves National Socialists, calling themselves the National Socialist Workers' Party, using the color red in their flag, all this stuff, and even spouting socialist policies early on, those socialist policies they never followed through on, and actually almost entirely worked with the corporate oligarchs and things like that in Nazi Germany. And they made their corporatist system very very capitalist, right? And their corporate groups were a lot of the times just repurposed very state affiliated uh, corporate institutions that already existed, like the rich. Of course, not Jewish people though, or other people they considered undesirable. And that's another thing, like getting rid of DEI, getting rid of undesirables, erasing trans people from queer history. You know, there's that one poem, First They Came for the Communists. And I didn't speak out because I wasn't a communist. Then they came for the trade unionist, and I didn't speak out because I wasn't a trade unionist. I forgot the third line, but the final one was, then they came for me, but once they came for me, there was no one left to speak out for me. So that's why I just think people should be wary about this type of stuff, you know? Anyways, this was my first Let's Play, I guess, for Minecraft, a little ramble. So I hope you guys enjoyed. See ya.